Hello, Product Hunt. My name is Jabron, and I have created this thing called Bitfield. I'm totally one-shotting this presentation here, and it's 11:30 p.m. and I already recorded it, and it did not record my audio, so stick with me here. But let me give you a quick little origin story. So about a year and some odd months ago, I was deep into this whole thing about what does the future of learning look like. And after several weeks of thinking about it every day, I realized when an AI gets mega smart and replaces all of us with a job, why would people go to school and learn? Well, the reason would be is that we are curious. So that means the future of learning is about being curious. So then I asked, all right, well, how do I build a software that brings any curiosity to life so they can be curious without any limits? And I started working. I built a UI engine. I built a workflow engine. I built these other engines that could bring anything to life. But then, as I was about to be done, I started asking, what if they wanted to replace the workflow engine? What about the UI engine? And that's when it hit me. If they want to be able to replace those, they should be able to. And that's when I came out with this idea of plugins. Make everything a plugin. Well, how do you make it all work? And that's when we came up with the idea, or I came up with the idea of Bitfield. But I love how we always say we. Anyway, of Bitfield. Bitfield is the world's fastest plugin runtime and database for those that want to make their product or their idea huge and cannot afford to slow down when their plans change. So basically what happens is when you start building your idea and your product is coming to life, you're adding more features, you see a pretty thing online, maybe you get a customer, they want something new, or your imagination wants something new. So guess what? You're building it, and now these things are all getting attached. So 6 months in, each new feature depends on the others. One edit is turning into 10 edits. Every change is now getting slower, pricier, riskier, and it's way more stressful than it should be. And ideas that want to get huge, they just can't afford this. So with Bitfield, every feature plugs into one place instead of depending on each other. When you add one, remove, or replace a feature, one edit just stays one edit. So 6 months in, every change still is fast, cheap, safe, and as exciting as the first one. Well, how does it work? Well, instead of each feature depending on other features, right? Well, instead, they all drop an envelope with information into one place, and that is the storage right there. So Bitfield stores every envelope, and when another feature needs that envelope's information, it can just pick it up now, in a year, offline, after a crash, or on another device. And usually you'd think that having features talk through this shared place, right, would be slower to build and slows down your product compared to when they're just, depending and talking to each other. But that's what I realized, and I was like, no, this cannot happen. We have to make sure it's extremely fast. So that took a lot of time to figure it out and make it work, but now you can actually get the great structure and the great speed of building. So Bitfield helps those features write envelopes into storage way faster and read those envelopes from storage way faster than any other database out there in the world, which is pretty crazy. But that now gives you the structure and you still get the speed of building like it's day one. And there's a lot of other cool features that I really wanted in here because I was like kind of building for myself. I knew that if I want to build without limits, I should be able to literally have no limits. So you can build, you can let your information between your different devices you're using with your idea can communicate in whatever way you want, over the cloud, internet, Bluetooth, USB, over walkie-talkies if you somehow figured that out. And that's up to you. You can set up your own transport protocol. You can still use whatever database you want to use. So if you have, if you like SQLite, or if you like Postgres or an analytics database, you can use all those. Those all are just these plugins, which is really great, right? That way you don't really feel like you're locked in. If you choose one in the beginning, well, you can always add other ones in later. And those are the projections of the source of truth, that is the Bitfield storage engine. So it can also run on any device: a laptop, a phone, a tablet, a watch, or even a Raspberry Pi, or hey, maybe even a toaster if you can figure out how to put a really great chip in there. Or not even a great chip, it could just be a simple chip too. So that is another place where it's already coming for free, basically, in there. It can even work on Mars, in theory, because it's offline. It is all a binary in a single file that lives on the device. So that's pretty cool. And it can run any executable because I built that in. So now the features you've got in there, even at runtime, they're able to access this stuff, which is great. If you want to make an image like that, easy, very thing to add for any feature you add in there. Um, no information is like thrown away, it's compacted, or it's done in a way where it's all on a ledger, so you can play back information, you get version history for free, and it stores everything once because it's a content addressable storage, so it helps save space and make things a lot faster. That's one of the things I was able to do to make it faster. And you don't have to depend on me. You can build your own SDK if you want to. So if you have this own crazy language you've built or a device you've built or whatever it is, you've got that here ready to go, so you're not locked in by me. So for the ideas that want to get huge, never break, you choose Bitfield, right? So you can take your idea that's very small today, and when you don't know what it's going to look like in 6 months, you want to choose this because this has the ability to adapt on the fly without slowing you down. So I've got a 3-day trial you can try out when you start. It will give you 5 active devices. I've even got some really amazing command center that you can even use to like really feel out what this isolated slot stuff and things are like. And if you don't like it, go ahead and cancel. At least you tried it out. And yeah, so I hope you like it. I hope you give it a try. And that's it. Goodbye, Product Hunt. Or I guess I'll probably see you in the comments if you do reply.